Alright guys, today we're going to talk about how to fill your character sheet, and I am going to be a Dwarven fighter, and my background is going to be a folk hero. My name will be Saitama, or Smitama. Yes, that's pretty cool, don't steal it. And my class and level, well, is fighter level 1. So first we're just going to go over my race, which is Dwarf, and Dwarfs, they are kind of remarkable, and their ability to score increases, our constitution will increase by 2. So that's pretty great. And just write down every one of those here, so it will be kinda easy to do. Constitution will be +2. And most dwarves are lawful, so I'm just gonna go with lawful good for this fighter, since it's folk hero as well, so lawful good. That actually does sound really good. Lawful good. Okay. And well, my speed, dark vision, dwarven resilience, dwarven combat training, tool proficiency, yeah, these are really important, so just copy and paste them. So there you go. You have to fill those here, and if you're actually filling in real life, you don't have to fill it like this. You could just simplify it. You could say that speed 25 and not reduced by heavy armor, dark vision, uh, can see in dim light within 60 feet. Okay, so something like that. So yeah, that is pretty good. And I have dwarven combat training. That means I have proficiency with the battle axe, the hand axe, light hammer, and, well, warhammer. So that's pretty good. Copy and paste that into this section of the proficiency bonuses. So after you do that, you kind of have to make a line here, so it would be easier for your players to trait and trace, for you to trace as well. So just make a line here, and that will be the weapon section. The next section should be shields and stuff. Anyway, I might choose Hill Dwarf or Mountain Dwarf. My strength score increases by 2, my wisdom score increases by 1. In this case, I'm just gonna go with the strength score increase, since this is actually pretty good. But I mean, it isn't that good though, since as a Hill Dwarf, my wisdom score will increase by 1, since that isn't really that useful, but my hit point maximum will increase by 1, and if I reach the 20th level, my, well, hit point will be above 20, and my Dwarven armor training says I have proficiency with light armor and medium armor, but a fighter grants you that too, so I'm kinda stuck between two places. But I'm just gonna go with Mountain Dwarf, since strength is really important in DnD. So STR +2, and I have proficiency with light and medium armor. Anyway, I'm just not gonna copy and paste that, since our fighter already has it. So fighters are pretty interesting as well, and they have a +2 bonus on the first level, just like any other old class. +2 on the first level. And my class features, yes, these are pretty interesting. I have a D10 for hit die. Oops. D10 for a hit die, and I have a total of 1 D10 starting at the first level. So I'll talk about these afterwards. And my speed is 25. Remember that, because of I'm a dwarf. Anyway, so I'll go over to fighter. Okay, here you go. All armor shields. And I'm just going to copy and paste that here, since it is actually pretty interesting and very, very simple to do. Okay. Just paste that there. I don't think there is any need to make another line, but I'm just going to do it just in case. And I have proficiency over simple weapons and martial weapons. I mean, that's kind of strange for a fighter, since martial weapons and simple weapons, that's not all of the weapons. I don't think so. Maybe? Yeah, it is. Since fighters, they have proficiencies over with all weapons since they're, well, fighters in D&D. And my saving throw proficiencies are strength and constitution. Strength and constitution. And my skills are, I'm just gonna say acrobatics and intimidation. But I'm just gotta see my folk hero skills before I choose these. And my equipment, I'm just gonna choose leather armor, longbow, and 20 arrows. That is my equipment, not my proficiency. So be careful. Maybe you will choose the wrong one if you're not that careful. Then I have a martial weapon and a shield. Yeah, that's about it. And I will have a one light crossbow with 20 bolts. That sounds good. But you know, the bolts doesn't really matter since no one ever traces their bolts anyway. So just copy and paste it there, and we're just gonna go over some things, which is choosing a pack, whether it's a Dungeoner's pack or an Explorer's pack. Well, that doesn't really matter, and we're just gonna talk about what's in those just after a bit. Okay, so once you know that all of the racial traits, well, not all of it, but yes, some racial traits of the fighter, we're just gonna see all of the other class traits. Well, here we can choose a style of fighting, and I'm just gonna, you know, use protection since protection is pretty cool, and I think it is very useful in D&D to protecting your companions. So anyway, I'm just gonna write it over here, and I will have, well, second wind as well, since the second wind is really cool. You can regain a lot of hit points using this, and since you're a level 1 character, that is basically, well, that will actually double your hit points, so good, very good. Anyway, we're just gonna see if I have any other racial traits at the first level. Nope, I don't. So let's just see folk hero right here. If I'm a folk hero, I have skill proficiencies of animal handling and survival. That's pretty cool. And I will have two proficiencies of one type of artisan's tools and one type of vehicle. I don't know why it's that useful, but I'm just gonna write it down here. And alright, so I'm just gonna choose here for my personality traits. If someone's in trouble, I'm always ready to help. Yeah, that sounds pretty interesting, and this fits, you know, this folk hero type of, well, hero. So that's good, and I'm ideal. I'm just gonna go with there's no good to pretending something I'm not. Yeah, my father will be an Englishman. I think that's better, and you have to do an accent. And accents are pretty fun. You could fake a Russian accent, a German accent, whatever accent. Well, if you're bad at it, if it's good, maybe there's no fun in it. But I like to do some bad ones, and I can't do good ones anyway. Bond. I am. I am just gonna choose this bond since this is kind of a flaw more than a bond, but sure, it's something cool, and I hope that my fighter or my well, folk hero will have this bond. So you can choose whatever you want, or if you're actually so indecisive, you're just gonna roll a die for it, then do what you want. For the flaw, I have trouble trusting my allies. I think that's gonna be good if there's a good story, and I think what my story will be, if it is actually something like this, will be, I mean, someone said to you that your other companions have some problems, then you'll just say, no, that isn't happening. That doesn't sound right. But then you thought again, okay, I think they're actually gonna betray me, so maybe I'll give them a beating or something. Well, for my flaw, I have trouble trusting my allies. Where did that go? Okay, haven't gone anywhere. So that's about it for fighter, except for a lot of other things. I'm just gonna fill in my class, and there you go, a fighter, level 1 fighter. So fighters are actually, well, pretty normal in Dungeons and Dragons. They're pretty useful, and they can do a lot of damage to enemies if you know how to use one. So fighter level 1, and race I chose dwarf. So that's good. And I am a folk hero in DnD. So I don't see a lot of folk heroes running around in DnD. I don't think so, but I want to be one since it has proficiencies over animal handling, so that's pretty cool. And he has, well, a bit more money than other people. I think so. Oh, only 10? Oh, it doesn't really matter anyway. He has a pouch and he has 10 bucks. Let's just see the equipment of this guy. And that's about it. Well, not all about it, but sure. All of these could come in handy, and for bolts, you don't really need a lot of them because no one really keeps track of these things anyway. And my armor class, I'll wait for a moment to decide that. So let's start rolling our, oh, it's not platinum, it's gold, since platinum is worth so much more. Oops, why did I spell PP? Okay, so that's about it, and now we're just gonna decide our stats. So what we do is that we roll, dice, a lot of them. And in this case, we're just gonna roll 4 of them and add the 3 highest numbers. If there is 2 1s or 2 2s, just choose one of them and leave one out. After you do that, you'll get your score. So, wow, that is hellishly high. And that means I will have a 17. That is a really high number. I would want this character. I think so. And there's a 12, not so high, but still not bad. Then there is a 14. Yeah, not bad. Keep the good luck coming, and I won't have to re-roll or anything. So that's a 14 again, not bad. As long as I have a 17, I do not have to worry. Wow, another good roll. 15. One last roll for good luck. Oh, 11. So yeah, still better than normal. At least I have a 17 and a 15, 2 14s, 1 12, and a 10. I still have some pluses on that, so that means it's so good. Anyway, we're just gonna fill in all of these. I'm going for strength, and strength, I'm just gonna say it is a, no, I'm just gonna go for dexterity. That will be my highest, which is 19, and 17 plus 2, which is one of my racial traits. No, oh, right, dexterity, that isn't one of those. So dexterity still is gonna be 17, and that's gonna be cool. My strength will be a 15. No, yes, a 15. And that is a 17 in total. No, I'm just gonna use a yeah, it's the same. It's the same. No worries about that. And a 17. So my constitution, I will actually, you know what, use a 14, and it will be a 16 all in all. Oops. 16. And my intelligence, I'm just gonna use one of the 14s. No, well, I'm just gonna use a 10 since intelligent. Well, if you're not a wizard, it doesn't really matter that much in D&D, so just do that. Except for some spells where you have to make a intelligence check, so that would be a +0. How do you determine the modifier? It's just basically the number, just you know, have it and extract a 10 from it, then divide it by 2. That's the number you'll get for your modifier. And for wisdom, I'm just gonna go for 14, and for the next charisma is a 14 as well. So yeah, this is a pretty good dwarven fighter. 14. Okay. Oh, right, one more thing I forgot. Actually, you have to choose 2 more skills from acrobatics, animal handling, athletics, history, insight, intimidation, perception, and survival. I'm actually gonna go for insight and intimidation. Oh, 2 are together, so that's pretty good. And the 17, that means extract a 10, that leaves a 7, and the 7 divided by 2 and round down, that would be a 3, and this would be a +3 as well. Not bad for the first level. And constitution, that would be a +3, I think. Yeah. And +0, +2, and another +2. Okay, and now we're just gonna determine our saving throw modifiers. And if there's a black dot in front of them, that means that we're proficient in this skill. And if we're proficient in this skill, we get to add our proficiency bonuses. And for this, it's a +5. Pretty cool, huh? And the constitution is a what again? Oh, right, +5 as well. And if, well, when do you deal a constitution saving throw? That would be when you receive some poison or something. And animal handling, that would be a +4, since my proficiency bonus and my wisdom modifier together, it's a +4. And for insight, it's a +4 yet again. For intimidation, I think this one would be a +4. Yeah, that's no fun. Wisdom, that's a +4 as well. So that's kind of about it for a fighter, except for all of these weapons where we gotta fill as well. And for the ones without the little, dots in front of them, you just fill whatever your modifier is. For the intelligence, you just fill your intelligence modifier, which is a +0. And for arcana, you're just gonna fill in your intelligence. Oh, yeah, which is a 0 as well. For athletics, you're just gonna fill in a +3 without any proficiency bonuses because you're not proficient in the skill. Anyway, my hit points maximum would be 1d10, 1d10 +3. Okay, my initiative bonus would be a +3 since my dexterity modifier is a +3 as well, and my armor class. And that is something that is actually interesting. So it would be 11 plus my, since if you wear leather armor, your armor class is going to be 11 and your dexterity modifier. So that leaves me with a 14. Yeah, it's a 14. But I'm going to wear a shield as well since I'm proficient in it and I have one. So together that will be a total of 16. Well, not bad for a first level fighter. Oops. It's a 16, not a +6. Anyway, so that's about it for our fighter, except for passive wisdom, which is just a 10 plus your wisdom modifier, and there will be a 12. Anyway, like I said, this is about it. You just have to fill in your player name and, the character name. If you're gonna play Smitema or something, you might as well add a last name, or Smitema could be a last name instead of a first name, as if for my case. And inspiration, this you don't really have to worry about. It's for when your DM gives you some kind of an award for game playing and for playing your character, and when someone is gonna when some allies have a sign of betraying you, are just gonna betray them or just try to hit them as hard as you can. That it counts as good game playing since you have a flaw, which is I have trouble trusting my allies. If you do this, some DMs will give you inspiration. You can't ever hold one inspiration at a time. You can't really hoard it, and if you use one inspiration, maybe you'll get the next one in, say, a few sessions. Or if your DM just likes giving out inspirations, or you guys really play your characters, maybe that will be sooner or later. It doesn't really matter. As well as that, you will gain advantage for any row that involves a d20. So that's about it. And for our weapons, we just have to fit in some which are pretty easy. Anyway, we're just gonna go to our equipment chapter to see we're gonna how can I fill these. So, where's that equipment? Equipment. Okay. So, that's the armors. Like I said, leather armor is 11 plus dexterity modifier. And, okay. Here you go. So simple melee weapons, simple ranged weapons, martial melee weapons, and martial ranged weapons. I have a crossbow, and this crossbow is a light crossbow, which is a simple ranged weapon, and it has a 1d8 piercing damage. So what I do here is just fill in the name light crossbow. And fill it in here, and my attack bonus would be a plus. Am I proficient in these? Okay, simple weapons, martial weapons. Okay, I'm proficient in every weapon, and that means I will have an attack bonus of a plus 5, since it's my dexterity modifier for using these weapons, which are simple weapons. No, for ranged weapons, you add your dexterity modifier, as well as that you add your proficiency bonus as well. So that's together will be a plus 4, and the damage type will be well, 1d8 plus, what is that again, plus 3, and this is piercing damage. So fill in the rest if you want to, and this is how you fill in your Dungeons and Dragons sheet. There you go, this is how you do it, and see you next time. If you don't know about the rules of DnD, you can check out my other video, which I'll have a link for, and this tells you all about the rules of the DnD game, except for some strange rules which I will not really talk about, just the basic ones. Anyway, bye.